Good day, everyone. I will be presenting the topic on women and children as humans. The rights of women and children are protected by the international law, the human rights law, and the Magna Carta Act of Women. The rights of the women and children through the international law is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Under Article 1, it defines discrimination as any distinction, exclusion, or restriction made on the basis of sex with the purpose or effect of impairing the enjoyment by women of political, economic, social, cultural, or civil human rights. Article 2. State parties must condemn discrimination against women and pursue policies to eliminate it in all its forms. This includes incorporating the principle of equality of men and women in national constitutions and legal frameworks, by adopting legislation and other measures prohibiting discrimination, establishing legal protection and remedies for women against any discriminatory act, repeal all national penal provisions which constitute discrimination against women. Article 3, Basic Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms. It guarantees that women enjoy the full exercise of human rights and fundamental freedoms on a basis of equality with men. Article 4, Temporary Special Measures. Permits the adoption of temporary special measures to accelerate equality between men and women. These measures should not be considered discriminatory and must be discontinued when the objectives of equality are achieved. Article 5, Gender Stereotyping and Prejudice. Obligates states to take measures to modify social and cultural patterns to eliminate prejudices and practices based on stereotype roles for men and women. Article 6, Trafficking and Exploitation of Prostitution. Requires states to take measures to suppress all forms of trafficking in women and exploitation of prostitution. Article 7, Political and Public Life. Ensures women's equal rights with men to both hold public office and participate in non-governmental organizations and associations. Article 8, Representation at the international level. Guarantees women the right to represent their governments and participate in the work of international organizations. Article 9, Nationality. Ensures equal rights for women regarding the nationality of themselves and their children. Article 10, Education. The state must ensure equal rights for women in education, including equal access to curricula, exams, and teaching staff with the same qualifications, and equal access to school premises and equipment. Article 11, Employment. It guarantees equal employment rights, including the right to work, the right to the same employment opportunities, equal remuneration, benefits, and treatment in respect of work of equal value, and the right to protection of health and safety in working conditions. Article 12, Health. It ensures equal access to healthcare services, including those related to family planning and appropriate services during pregnancy, confinement, and the postnatal period. Article 13, the economic and social life. It guarantees women's equal rights to family benefits, bank loans, mortgages, and participation in recreational activities, sports, and all aspects of cultural life. Article 14, the rural woman. It recognizes the specific needs of rural women and ensures their right to participate in and benefit from rural development. This includes access to healthcare, education, training, employment opportunities, and participation in community activities. Article 15, Equality before the law. The state must ensure equality before the law, including equal legal capacity in civil matters and freedom to choose residence and domicile. Article 16, Marriage and Family Relations. Guarantees equal rights in matters related to marriage and family relations, including the right to enter into marriage, choose a spouse, and decide on the number and spacing of children. The rights of women and children are also protected by the Republic Act Number 9262, an act defining violence against women and their children, providing for protective measures for victims, prescribing penalties. It is a landmark legislation that defines and criminalizes acts of violence against women and their children, or BAUC. Republic Act Number 8353, an act expanding the definition of the crime of rape, reclassifying the same as a crime against persons, amending for the purpose Act Number 3815 as amended, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code. It represents a significant legislative advancement in addressing and combating rape in the Philippines. By broadening the definition of rape, the law acknowledges various forms of sexual violence beyond traditional penile penetration. This inclusive definition ensures that more victims can seek justice. Additionally, the inclusion of marital rape recognizes the autonomy and rights of women within marriage, challenging the traditional notion that consent is automatically given once married. The law also offers stronger legal protection for children and individuals who are unable to give consent due to their age or mental state. The Magna Carta Act of Women. This comprehensive law aims to eliminate discrimination against women by recognizing, protecting, fulfilling, and promoting their rights, and establishing mechanisms to ensure gender equality. The rights of women and children are given emphasis under the School of Thought, Formality Equality Theory, and the Cultural Feminism Theory. Under the formal equality theory, it emphasizes that a person must be consistent or equal in treatment at all times. Women should be treated equally with men under the law, regardless of personal characteristics or socioeconomic status. The cultural feminism is a legal theory that analyzes how laws and legal systems contribute or mitigate gender inequality. So the question is, in the Philippines, are these rights of women and children respected and promoted? Under the international law, yes, the rights of women as outlined in the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women are respected and promoted in the Philippines. The promotion and implementation of CEDAW involve a combination of government initiatives, non-governmental organization efforts, civil society actions, and media campaigns. Human rights law, also known as the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004, was enacted to address and prevent violence against women and their children by providing comprehensive legal protection and support services. The Magna Carta Act of Women is actively upheld and promoted in the Philippines. So here's the promotion being carried by the Philippines to protect the rights of the women and children. Under international law, um, NGOs and civil society groups, the Magna Carta Act of Women, the Violence Against Women and Their Children, and the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act, the Philippine Commission on Women, Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Plan, and the Philippine Plan for Gender Responsive Development. Law enforcement, like the Philippine National Police, has also established women and children protection desks in police stations to handle BAUSI cases sensitively and effectively. Under human rights law, policy development and advocacy plays a pivotal role in advocating the implementation of Republic Act 9262 by developing policies and guidelines to support women and children affected by violence. There are also information campaigns, which conducts nationwide information campaigns to raise awareness about the provision and the rights of women and children under the law. The DSWD, through the Crisis Intervention Unit, operates across the country by providing immediate assistance, including temporary shelter, counseling, and legal assistance to the victims of BAUSI. There are also capacity building, local ordinance and policies, in which LGUs are encouraged to enact local ordinances that complement the provision, ensuring localized implementation and support mechanisms. The general and development budget, which allocates a portion to the programs, which include activities aimed at preventing BAUSI and for supporting the victims. The Magna Carta Act, under the Magna Carta Act of under the Magna Carta Act of Women, it is actively upheld and promoted by the Philippine Commission on Women as the primary policy-making and coordinating body on women and gender equality concerns. LGUs are also mandated to implement the Magna Carta Act of Women within their own jurisdiction. LGUs are also required to allocate at least 5% of their budget to the Gender and Development Plans programs, which include initiatives to promote women's rights and gender equality. Through capacity building, training, and capacity building programs for government employees to ensure that they understand and can effectively implement gender-sensitive policies and practices. In our jurisprudence, the court upheld the protection and the rights of the children through these following cases. People of the Philippines versus Henosa. The case involves Marivic Henosa that was charged with the crime of parricide. However, she claimed that she acted in self-defense due to the battered woman syndrome for years of abuse and violence from her husband. So, the witness has testified to the abuse that she suffered, including physical injuries and frequent quarrels. The case of Marshal Bonifacio versus People of the Philippines involves the interpretation of RA 9262 regarding the elements of psychological violence. The Supreme Court ruled that psychological violence under the law includes acts that cause mental or emotional suffering to the victim. The decision emphasized that the intent to debase, degrade, or demean the dignity of the women is key in determining the existence of psychological violence. People of the Philippines versus Serapio D. Alcaraz. In this case, the Supreme Court clarified the definition of sexual abuse under RA 9262. The court emphasized that sexual abuse encompasses a wide range of acts, including sexual intercourse and lascivious conduct, committed against the victim's will and without her consent. The decision underscored the importance of proving lack of consent and the use of force or intimidation in cases of sexual abuse. Espouses Olanda versus People of the Philippines. The decision underscored the need for thorough investigation and documentation of incidents of violence to ensure proper adjudication. People of the Philippines versus Rodolfo Baclaan. In this case, the Supreme Court discussed the principles of evidence in Bausi cases. The court emphasized that in criminal prosecutions under RA 9262, the standard of proof required is proof beyond reasonable doubt. The decision highlighted the role of the prosecution in presenting clear and convincing evidence to establish the guilt of the accused. Eden C. Marilag versus People of the Philippines. This case addressed the issuance of protection orders under RA 9262. The Supreme Court clarified the procedural requirements and standards for the issuance of temporary protection orders and permanent protection orders to ensure the immediate protection of victims of violence. The decision emphasized the importance of expeditiously granting TPOs to prevent further harm to the victims. So these are my references for this report. And this ends my presentation. Thank you.